Hello friends and welcome back to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. I hope you women, mothers and villages of women that help take care of children had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. Today we are doing our updates, things we completed, things we worked on, things we're hoping to complete. So let's just get on into our list. I also, friends, had to do another little shopping haul. Let's get to our complete. Now, friends, this one here is many ages old. I can't recall which month this is. Y'all see me picking all these strings off of myself, friends. This is the Bob and Blooms from the Fat Quarter Shops sampler. I'm sorry, my brain switched there. I think I had bought some of the backing fabric here to make a border, and I ended up not. So I've got a lot of this backing left, but I am giving this to my grandbaby. I had carried this to Miss Ava a while back, and she had a whole lot of things to get done. And I just told her, no rush. You know, I don't ever rush. This will be fine for my grandbaby. I will give this to her possibly at Christmas. I even had Miss Ava and them do the binding on it because, let's face it, I don't have time to do the quilts I'm working on right now, much less to do the binding. And my spacing here, y'all can tell I do not have a lot of room here, so it is just really, really helpful when I can get her to do the binding. But I want to show you the quilt design on this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's little bumblebees on this. Let me see if I can point one out. Right here is a bumblebee. Let me get that close up for you. You can see the little flowers on there, the little bumblebees. This is just the cutest. And there's butterflies on that as well. My granddaughter, she's gotten into a thing about butterflies. So, yes, we got this quilted with butterflies. I'm sure she'll love it. I hope she uses it, and I don't know, most people when I say this, they're like, no, you don't want them to do that. I hope she uses it until it falls apart, because I put a lot of love into this little quilt, and I hope she puts a lot of love into using it. So let's get on to our projects for the week. What did we do? I did a lot of behind the scenes sewing. You can see some of it on my table right now. But one of the things that we did do was our diamond ice block. This is a block out of the Diamond Ice calendar for the Quilted Cow. They had a calendar that came in their Advent box, Christmas box, whatever it was called. I can't even remember. I think it was Advent box. Can't remember. But this was a calendar that was in their box, and I'm doing a block each month. I'm following along with the calendar. When it comes a new month, I'll do another block. But this was the May block that we completed. The blocks do not have names, so you know we're good with that though. It's just a diamond ice block. Now the next thing that we worked on, friends, pulling out my little project boxes here, still loving them. They are perfect. They don't take a lot of space when you have to open them up. This was our Jolly Bar Day quilt that we started. I am doing the Marie Antoinette. This came in the Florida Paris collection from French General. And I've got the first step done, I believe. Yes, I've got the first step where I have a massive amount of well, they're not half square. Yeah, half square triangles. Let's see how many did we end up with? We ended up with 144 of the print half square triangles and 48 of the half square triangles with the accent fabric. So let me show you here. I have quite a few of them that need to be pressing. Now I am developing a system here for things that need to press and things that need to be trimmed. I'll tell you guys all about it. But this one here is in pressing stage, and we hope to work on it some more this week. Got my box closed there. Got that out of the way. So the next thing that we worked on this week, friends, was our Yuletide sampler. I did two things on this. Now, on the live with Timmy and Alicia on Friday, which if you did not get to see that, it's either here on my channel Sunday night or Sunday evening or Alicia's channel. What we did was we're on, I can't even tell you what month we're on, friends. We are on month 9, the Christmas star, but I still had some of month 8, the trees, to complete. Now, friends, there was an issue with me working on the Christmas star. I was smashing my stash Friday evening, going through my fabrics, did not have enough of anything. I try to match as close as I can to the pattern for color, and if not color, tones. Like in this step, there are 2 greens. You have a dark one and a medium one. I had no greens. I had no red. Well, I already had reds that I was using, but it's like everything that it called for was more than what I'd have, because I have fat quarters mainly that I'm going through and using. So I had to do a little shopping haul, friends, for my, let me see here, for my Yuletide sampler. So I had to have 2 greens, and I don't even recall which one I got for what. I will have to check it out. This one here's got quite a few rolled in it, so I'm thinking this one here, I don't know, I'll have to check it, because I got several fabrics to work on next month's block as well. So let's see. I think I got this one as my dark fabric, and I might have gotten this one as my lighter fabric. I know they don't match too well. That may not be how I did or what I did. Or I might have gotten, this may be part of my dark. I can't recall which I got for what, but it's not going to matter. It's all going to be used. Now this here I got, this is going to be for the Yuletide sampler as well. I got this green, this green, this black. I already have some of this, but I have it in fat quarters, so it's not enough. So that's 3. I will sit down and look at my patterns to see which one I need for what. I will check the measurements, because I can't even recall what I have for what, really. But I did get some fabrics to be able to complete this on our second session that we come together. But let me show you what I did get done. I did get all of my large trees done. Those are all done. So done and ready to go. I did, now that was month 8. So month 9, I got that done. Now I have one more step in month 9 that I do need to catch up on before we go into the second session of working on this. But I did kind of catch up. I will be catching up, even if it's the day of the next sewing session we have, the next live. I hope to be catching that up. If I don't get it caught up now, it will be caught up before our next live. Now, the next thing that we worked on, I did not bring this along on recording on video. I just did this early morning or late night in my PJs, friends. Our Just Two Charm Pack quilts. This is our morning flower patch that I did scrappy, completely 100% scrappy. I have these plus blocks done. This is what I have left to sew. You'll see I have pins in that one there. That's what I've been doing today. And then I have all of my flower blocks done. These are my 9 patches. I do need to trim these down to size. And I will show you what I do. And I don't know if I'm going to carry these. Right now, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep these because I'm going to wait till I get them all done. And then I'll trim all of them at the same time. But I still need to press these. So once I get these done off my table and get them pressed, they will all go in a zipper pouch. And they will go with me to be trimmed down. And what I mean by zipper pouch, I will show you here on my next thing that we did. So the next thing we did was our Woodland quilt. This was our Saturday sew along. You saw this yesterday morning, Sunday. And you're going to see I have something different here. This is my morning flower patch project bin. I've got some pieces that are already sewn, just thrown in here. Some that are waiting. But let me show you what I've done with this. Now, we have 2 different blocks. We have half square triangles and we have hourglasses. This is our hourglass block. This one is trimmed down. Y'all probably saw in yesterday's video, if you watched that yet, I did not cut my fabrics the way they suggested in the pattern. They suggested taking your background block and your print block and cutting on both diagonals. I did not do that. I took the 2 of them and put them together and sewed on both sides. Let me show you here. See if you can see. You can't see it on that side, but like I sewed on both sides of the center diagonal here. And what I do is I cut from this corner to this corner. So all of this is still sewn. So when I pull these 2 pieces apart, I then cut through the center and I have 4 pieces. Just go check out the video. I do show you how I do that. And you see I have these in a zipper pouch. What I do with this is I carry it to work with me when I go on break or lunch. I have I have my other one here. This is my half square triangles. They're all pressed. Everything in these are pressed. I have my little rotating cutting mat. I have a rotating blade here. And then I have my projects in here. These are all pressed. What I will do is when I'm on break or lunch, I will start cutting these apart and trimming them. And what I mean by trimming, I trim it down to size. I was asked of how I did it, if they came down to the right size. Yes, they do. If you do not put too large of a seam line when you're sewing on both sides of that diagonal, what I do is I always do a scant 1/4 inch. which is just right on the inside. And you know what, friends? If you literally sew an 1/8 of an inch to the right and to the left of that center line, that's fine. That's going to give you enough room, but you have to remember, you still have to be able to press that out. And so what I do is I just do a scant quarter, and then when I trim them apart, I always press to the dark side or the print side. Always. That's just how I do it. But these will go to work with me this week to get them cut apart, trimmed down, whatever needs to happen to them. I do have a ruler in here also that to cut it down to the correct size. So we're good there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but this is our Woodland quilt. So, and I have them in 2 separate bags because they're 2 separate cuts. This is half square triangles. This is hourglass. I do not want to get them mixed up. I want them to stay in their respective bags. So once I get them cut and trimmed and I bring them back here, I can put them back in my bin and I can see which one is which. Of course, I'll be able to tell which one is which, but I don't want to get them mixed up. And plus, that's a lot of fabric to put in one bag, but I carry them like that. Now, what are my goals for this week? Well, you can tell one of them right here on my table. This morning flower patch, I've been sewing this a good bit behind the scenes. I did put all of my strips together, my black, white, and black strips. I did go on and create those strips. I went on and cut them down, and I'm putting that center sashing in there to make it a plus block. So I'm getting that done. That's the one thing that's pretty much staying on my table right now until I start recording something else for you guys. Although it's staying on my table and I'm recording now, but I do hope to be putting the borders on this flowering quilt this week. Miss Ava and Miss Sharon, they told me that my next quilt, I had another quilt there. They tell me my next quilt is just about ready. So I need to get her another quilt. So when I go to pick that quilt up, I can give her another one. Flowering. That's the one I need to get done. But I do want to make progress on the Jolly Bar quilt. I do want to make progress on the Woodland quilt and the Morning Flower Power. Those are the quilts that I will sew on at least once this week. I do hope to be cutting the rest of my fabric for Yuletide Sampler, getting prepared for our next live. That is not this upcoming Friday, but next Friday. It's the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month that we'll be doing this. Next month will be our 10th block. That will be our last block. And then we start assembling like our trees together. We start assembling rows, things like that. So, yeah. So, let's see what we do have. Let me grab it. I do have my spooled quilt along. I have all my fabrics in here. You can see I have, let me show it to you like that. You can see all those fabrics in there. I hope to be able to get on this block of the month. But if I don't, it's going to be okay. I will continue to put my patterns in here and get to them as I can. But I want to knock out at least one quilt, probably that one, then the Morning Flower Power, because then we have Woodland and the Jolly Bar. So that'll be 2 quilts that I have going at the same time. I don't like to have more than 2, and right now I've got 3. So, but I do hope to get those finished. And friends, also this week, we will be getting our Reflections Mystery Quilt Clue. That is a mystery quilt that Tammy is doing on her channel. So if you would like to do that, it's still not too late to get in and to get your free clues. They are free. She does have, I think she does have some kits, maybe, that you can get it, but just go over to her channel. She is linked down in the description. Go check it out. See if it's something you may be interested in doing. I am loving it. I love having just a completely, shot in the dark wild card quilting that, completely takes me away from everything else that I have going on. But friends, this is my main project this week. Morning flower patch. I do hope to be getting all of my plus signs done, get them pressed, get them all cut down, and start assembling the quilt. I probably have 100 other things that I am going to do in the process of this. I do plan on doing some organizing in my sewing room. I'm always doing that, friends. Always, always, always. Be prepared. There will be another de-stash the last Sunday of the month. I am slowly clearing out all the items in my sewing room. I am getting cookbooks from my aunts, so I'm getting rid of cookbooks in my house that I have. I'm having to just go through them a little bit at a time. Right now, on my cookbook shelf, this is the only place I really can put cookbooks is in here because my kitchen has kitchen stuff in it. I have like grilling cookbooks. I don't need grilling cookbooks. I have a lot of other cookbooks. We used to have book fairs where I worked, and I'd always get a cookbook. Always, always, always. And I don't know why, probably because I look at cookbooks just like a novel. So I always do that. But friends, thank you for joining me here to see what I've done this week. I've been enjoying catching Miss Lori on Quilting in the Country with Lori at 5:30 in the morning, friends. It's 5:30 here in Louisiana when she comes on. I know when Jess catches her, she said it's about 6:30 in the morning. But I have enjoyed catching her in the morning times. We have a blast in the chat. She's getting her morning coffee and getting going. So I've been enjoying catching that. And I love catching lives, but it seems like a lot of people do late night ones. And friends, late night not good for me. I need to sleep. But please give me a thumbs up before you head out. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.